before the video started, before I clicked on the camera, I found myself asking, are we ready? Are we ready? And, I think it was just probably about, am I ready to do the video, or the guides, the angels, the watchers, the holy ones here? But it also seemed like it would pertain to a specific situation that we might be facing. Are we ready? Are we ready? And the answer was yes, at least for this reading. And I suspect, we're ready. The idea that we aren't prepared, we don't really know till we get into the thick of it. And if we really feel hesitant, it's probably not the right time. But something's saying to me, ripe and ready, ripe and ready. This was the quote I found this morning, and I'd written it down a long time ago because I haven't used this little pad for ever so long. It's Henry Miller. I'm content to live in the mystery, to be surrounded by the unknown. I am content to be a seeker, a pilgrim, a traveler on the road to nowhere. I don't know how content I am with that, but I certainly find that to be true. A traveler, surrounded by the unknown, etc. That was my brother messaging me, and he might walk in. I haven't locked the door. In the winter I don't have to lock the door. It's rare that somebody comes a knocking. Let's just hope we can get through it before I can stop it and start again. I'm going to get a button that pauses too. These are technical things, and while I'm at it, if you're watching, if you like the video at any point, please hit subscribe. Become a channel member. It's a pittance a month, and it's a great group. And if you haven't subscribed already, and while you're watching the video, you feel like you like it, hit the subscribe button. It's free. All that will do is inform the algorithm, the YouTube Uber thing, that people are watching and appreciate the channel, and then they'll, it'll pop up more in more people's feeds. Sorry, but that's like a thing. I'm content to live in the mystery, on the road to nowhere. What are we on the road to? That's a great answer. World card. It's the last card in the major arcana. It's kind of the culmination of that internal epic journey. The big portal into the next chapter, the next thing, stepping through. And this person is full of joy. These are little cards. I don't know if you can see her face, but... And her dress is in the colors of the chakras. Those energy centers. Start with red, move into orange, move into yellow, move into green, move into blue, and then right out the top of the head, throat chakra is blue. Out the top of the head is usually light purple. It's like rain. It's the spectrum colors. It's the spectrum. The card of Capricorn. The next phase. On the road to, the big portal. The big change. The big Well, first card in the Major Arcana, full card, is the 0 card. World is 21, the last card. So we've got the beginning of the epic journey, of the journey toward wholeness. Somebody taking the risk, somebody right on the cliff edge. I see this as sort of like, here's the person passing through to the next big chapter, and this one was gesturing toward it. It's almost like Alpha and Omega. This one knows. It's Aries energy. Knows what they're doing, and they're moving toward wholeness. If the Fool is in search of wholeness, that's what the whole epic journey is about. Knowing yourself, knowing your world, not leaving any part of you behind, willing to step into the next phase. And there's sort of a good on you. Because it always leads back to this may be the culmination world, but it leads back to the beginning. It's all cyclical. Once the journey is completed, the next journey starts. And we said, what are we on the road to? And in some ways, we may have just begun. But it's like we know, where are we going? We know sword energy about knowledge, beginner's mind. We're willing to look at something. This is the baby of the tarot. It's kind of with beginner's mind, with baby's eyes, with the feeling brand new and ready to take the risk. Surrounded by the mystery. That circle, that portal. And I'm getting the idea of a hoop dance or a underworld card, a card of Capricorn. We have earth energy, like Capricorn. This is somebody who's done the work. Capricorn is known for doing the work. For rising up, sea goat. Ascending. And this is the 3D work, based on some kind of fresh look at things, this beginner's mind. Through baby's eyes. There's a Mike Birbiglia. He's a great comedian, and I highly recommend him. He did a comedy routine all about being a new father. And, they were getting advice from the pediatrician and so on. Baby needs this, baby needs that, baby bloody, bloody, blah. And and I think somebody advised him, look at the world through baby's eyes. And at the end of the stand-up, he said that, that's what I've begun to do. In the most profound way. Through baby's eyes. The world. Through baby's eyes. Fool card, Page of Swords. Page is a kind of a baby energy. Somebody who has a lot to learn and is willing to look into it. And is willing to do the work. And in fact has done the work over many years. And now they're able to kind of sit back and, say, what has it brought me, this work? You might be an artist. In any case, your life, Pentacles energy, your life is your art. I think you've learned how to be new. Bottom of the deck, another page, Page of Pentacles. That's the starting point. You know, poised. And again, poised. Under Fool card, Nine of Cups. It's a card of happiness. Freedom. Free to love. One more. Queen of Pentacles. Earth energy. In the energy of Capricorn, that hard-working, somebody who sees it all the way through. This can be like a life partner or a lifelong, somebody who's established, over time. This could be life work. And it might be that having worked that hard, it's now time to step back and rest. This person is sitting in a chair. And allow yourself to feel happy. Again, the person sitting down, taking a rest, taking a time out, I think, because you've accomplished a lot, whether you know it or not. Sword energy, whether you know it or not. There's a big lesson here that you've learned. It's taken a lot of energy. Tell us about the work. Ace of Pentacles. That's the seed, the new beginning. In Capricorn energy, Earth energy, the seed, Ace of Pentacles. And doesn't that ring look a bit like the seed? The new beginning is already underway. It's sprouting. The new beginning. And it may be in some ways a risk to begin, but it's also solid and real. And I think you've worked on something that's sort of borne fruit. Something you've nurtured. And again, I'm getting work of art. It might be just that your life, Pentacles energy, is a work of art. And there's reason to rejoice here. 9 cards of the personal. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Surrounded by the mystery. Content to be a seeker. This is a seeker energy. I want to learn. I'm curious. I'm curious to discover perhaps the workings of my psyche. The workings. 8 of Pentacles. Signifies the work. You might be a counselor, an artist, a teacher, a mother. I mean, not that those roles are, they come together under one roof. Devil card on Queen of Pentacles. That's somebody who's fought to free themselves. This Queen of Pentacles has worked hard, Capricorn energy. And on the board, she has her eyes closed to the devil. It's sort of like, I know you're there. I'm not accepting the invitation. I'm accepting, the invitation, the obsessive, perhaps somebody who's just enormously needy. I'm accepting this opportunity, this invitation to grow something new. The devil's something you can't let go of. And all of this reading is about letting go. You know, releasing the love, taking the risk, right off the cliff edge, concluding a chapter in order to begin the new one. It's all about new beginnings. She's done the work. Page of Pentacles is on World card. It's kind of like the keys to the kingdom. There's something concrete here. It's that seed energy of the Ace of Pentacles. Somebody may come in with an offer, or you might make an offer to somebody else because you've completed a cycle and now you have, it's about showing up. In 3D, here I am. The Ace, the I card. To be or not to be, here I am. That road to nowhere. Well, in this case, it's a road to somewhere. Something substantial, something you can get your hands on. On Page of Swords, Two of Swords. Well, we're looking into Page of Swords. We're looking into something that was blocked or that held us back. That's what Devil card can mean. Blocked, held us back. And this is a situation, because Devil can mean fear. It's kind of love over fear. That's how we free ourselves. And, if there's something we didn't want to know or look into that kept us stuck, we're studying on that. We're taking a fresh look at that. Why am I stuck? And this is sort of like, I'll look at shadow energy. I'll look at what holds me back. That's how I free myself. Surrounded by the mystery. 9 of Cups, 5 of Wands. That can be a card of working it out. It's kind of a struggle. It can be internal or external. There could be people in your environment who are like vying for your attention, wanting you to focus on me, no, focus on me. There's a need to set priorities. But again, there's this work element. This may be in the workplace. Working it out. But I think it's, I get that your life is your work of art. What you do day to day. And the example you set with your life, Queen of Pentacles, inspires other people to push past. This is a 5 card indicating a need for change. If you're stuck, if there's conflict or competition, people vying for your attention, focus on your own self, your own happiness. You may be like a mother or a teacher, and there are a lot of people who want your attention. That may have held you up in some way. Fool. Fool is Aries, fire energy, and here we have Page of Wands in fire energy. being inspired, revving up to begin. Page is often seen as the pilgrim on the path. Wands are directional. Inspired to begin. Page of Swords, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. The only one that's missing is the Page of Hearts. This is a very youthful energy. It's like we get to the end of the cycle, we begin again. New life. Fresh, perspective, beginner's mind. Something that allows you to move beyond the block because you're taking a fresh look at it. And pages can speak to children through baby's eyes, or maybe the inner child that is motivated and inspired to begin again, to begin full energy. And I think the risk might be, that risky aspect of Fool might be just self-doubt. The mind doubting itself, being of two minds, being held back by something you're thinking about your own life. You think you're stuck. You've done the work. I think, and it's also a spiritual work. Because it gets you from the devil energy, I'm stuck, to, does this person look stuck? They're moving on. They've completed a cycle, and I think I'm repeating myself again and again, but they've started the next one. This is you. This is your life. In a constant state of renewal, shucking off the old skin, moving on, Wands energy, to the next thing, revving up to do that. And it might be there's something to be learned from where you were stuck and why you were stuck, Sword energy. All the questions. You've worked something out. You worked hard. You broke through this Five of Wands resistance. And if the happiness isn't here yet, it's on the way. It's on your path. Devil energy might tell you I'm on a road to nowhere. Or it might just say the particular destination you have in mind isn't the full story. Don't be afraid. Keep going. All these page energies. Rev it up, cross over what appears to be the big gap, the void, the abyss, something like that. Rilke, life holds you in its hands. It will not let you fall. It will not let you fall. Even when you go right off the cliff edge, jump into your own life. It will not let you fall. Baby's eyes. Is there one more? No. Is there a split or anything? No, that's it. All right, we have on the board Capricorn, Capricorn, Aries in the Fool. The beginning and the end. It's kind of the whole reading is bookmarked, but not in a kind of containing way, It's not like here's a definitive beginning and here's a definitive ending. It's something that gets refreshed and renewed, surrounded by the mystery. Surrounded by the mystery. And on the road to nowhere, in that it's bigger than you expected, it will kind of defy your expectations. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.